Hello friends, welcome to Spice Dhamal. I am your host Nitin and we are again on the road from Edinburgh for a one-day tour to explore the beauty of Scotland. This is a mythical land with mythical creatures, superb castles and lochs or the lakes which are there in the Highlands. So we will be exploring all of that today in the one-day tour from Edinburgh. Just a 30 minutes bus ride from Edinburgh, you come to the town of Falkirk, and the town of Falkirk you have this iron statues of these mythical creatures known as Kelpies. These mythical creatures are the part of Scottish folklore, that these horse-shaped creatures used to stay in water bodies, and if anybody goes near them they will harm them. That was a folklore, but when you look at it in hindsight, this was the way they could keep children away from the water bodies or playing in lochs and dangerous rivers. It was a way to ensure safety of children. Well, it was time to meet now Duke and Baron. Duke is the one which is head positioned downwards and the Baron is the one which head turned back. Both the statues are one of the best horse or any big statues I have ever seen. They are made with stainless steel and the height is more than 30 meters. And like the folklore says, they come out of this water body. Now, if you see the surrounding garden and this water body, this is a part of the canals which join Scottish cities. So if you have those small boats which can travel to canals, you can take these and travel to various Scottish cities from here to Glasgow or to Edinburgh. What you see is the wooden gates which are used to control the water levels of the canal. This is one of the finest British engineering. Now this is a miniature version of what is actually there in Panama Canal at a much higher level, where the gates open and flooding of these chambers allow you to control the level of water. It was time to take the mandatory selfie with Duke and Baron and listen to some local music while saying goodbye to the Kelpies. But what a superb attraction! And on the way to our next attraction, you could experience this Scottish villages and farms, and these are cottage style homes. But on farms you see a lot of sheep. So as they say, they have more sheep in Scotland than people, and you can see that scenery all along. What we see here is the village of Luss and Balloch, which are situated next to the Loch Lomond, and we will be doing a boat cruise in Loch Lomond. So after paying £17.5 per person, we were on board the cruise which was going to take us around Loch Lomond. The boat has two levels. Upper level is the open deck and that's where all the fun is. But if you are going in colder months, you need to wear quite few layers because it can get quite chill when you are out in the loch. As we started sailing, look at the beauty around. It was a cloudy day, but overall it was so beautiful to look at the calmness of water
it's the
and
largest
the
expanse
scenery
of fresh
around.
water in Great Britain, making it the third deepest in Scotland. The River Leith, which we are now leaving, is the loch's only outlet, running from here into the River Clyde in Dumbarton, and from there into the Atlantic Ocean. The area is home to an abundance of wildlife visitors. These ships also provided a valuable mail and transportation service to the local communities. As with many coal and steam powered vehicles, mounting maintenance and running costs. The large building we are passing on our left is Builders and Merchants, whose most famous member was the poet and novelist Tobias Smollett. Such was the wealth and influence of the Smolletts. The house has welcomed a few famous guests in its time. Former Prime Ministers Winston Churchill and Anthony Eden, as well as Empress Eugenie of France. As was the case with many ancestral homes across Britain, the costs of upkeep, staff and servants became unsustainable for the family. It was sold in 1986, And after extensive additions to the original building, Cameron House was converted into a luxury 5-star hotel and resort.
That was a very informative documentary on board, and while you are enjoying the biggest freshwater lake, or the loch they call it here in Scotland, you could also understand about the history, the culture, and how the fertile land around these lochs made this area very rich with the tobacco and whiskey trades. So we really enjoyed the Loch Lomond, and it was time to head for another attraction of the day. Drive to the next attraction actually passes through the picturesque Troches National Park. Now this national park is known as Mini Highlands, as it has small lochs, beautiful forest and greenery all along. So while you cannot travel to Highland if you don't have a lot of time, this gives you a glimpse how beautiful the Highlands are. So if you are in Highlands, you need to meet the local famous Highland cow, and our next stop was actually that, a close interaction with Highland cow. Now these cows have a very distinct, furry, very cute look, and don't forget to click few nice pictures with them. The Highland cows actually look much cuter in real life than in the soft toys which are available across Scotland as souvenirs. Well, that exploration made us very hungry, and we stopped at this tiny village of Callendar, which is a touristy village also known as Gateway to Highland, as it's one of the last villages when we go to Highland. Our tour guide recommended the shop More Bread and Store, and they had fantastic selection of daily sandwiches, savory bakery products, and all made with the local ingredients, best butters of Scotland. And it was super delicious. The best part was you could grab your sandwich, desserts, and just walk on the riverside of River Teeth and eat your lunch at a picturesque location. Look at this. I mean, life can't get better than this. This was such a fantastic experience. And the food was so tasty that we actually forgot taking any pictures of it and just dived in. So with our Baileys full, we started driving towards Stirling Castle. It is one of the historic castles of Scotland. And throughout the drive, our tour guide, who was also the driver of the bus, gave us information about all the historic figures who ruled Scotland, like William Wallace, Robert the Bruce, and Queen Mary of Scots. Bagpiper instrument is quintessential to Scotland, and that was the store that makes bagpiper. As we drive towards castle, you could see those cobblestone roads and all historic buildings, so it feels like the time has stopped. Built on a volcanic rock, Stirling is one of the Scotland's greatest stone castle. For generations, Scottish monarchy had stayed in this castle, and the royal palace is also the childhood home of Queen Mary of Scots. Stiff cliffs on three sides gives it a very formidable defensive position, and you can see all the fortification needed for a strong castle is already been done, and it is maintained intact throughout all these years. So it's a very well preserved castle. We also saw the Edinburgh castle, so we decided we will just walk around and not go actually inside to see the attractions. But if you want, you can buy the extra ticket and explore the inner part and the royal palaces. In the forecourt of the castle, you have all these statues of the great Scottish warriors who have given their contribution in Scottish and British history. And if you want to take the piece of Scottish history home, they have souvenir shops which sells the best Scottish whiskies, single malts, and the other souvenirs, woolen products, the best Scotland has to offer. Situated at the height, the surrounding view you get from the forecourt of the castle is absolutely amazing. Decided to sit and enjoy this view, feel relaxed as it was a long day, soak in all this Scottish beauty. While other group members explored castle, we decided to take a small walk in the Stirling town and see the historic town ourselves before heading back to Edinburgh. On the way, the tour guide stopped us for a scenic photo stop on the fourth bridge. These are the series of modern bridges made on this river, which is the lifeline and a connection to the other parts of Scotland. What an amazing day! We explored history of Scotland, had a great cruise on Loch Lomond, Stirling Castle and meeting the Highland cow. If you like the video, make sure you press the thumb icon, share it with your family and friends, subscribe to Spice Dhamal for amazing videos. Until we meet again, stay happy, stay healthy and keep traveling.